Once you log in, you're looking at the home page. It's broken down into 4 sections: sell, purchase, coordinate, and legal. The first thing you want to do is sign the exchange agreement before entering sale transaction details. So on the right side in the legal section, you want to click on execute a new SEA. It'll pull open the exchange agreement template for you. A couple things you want to make sure is article number 6, notices. And that's where make sure the exchanger information is set up correctly. The company name, address, contact person's information, and also the taxpayer ID. After that, scroll down to article number 9, and that's the fee section. So our fees are based on gross sales price, so make sure the fee is reflected correctly in there based on this sale transaction's gross sales price. So after you verified these 2 pieces of information, scroll down to the bottom of the page where it says Exhibit A. In category field, what you need to type in is the expected sale date. In this example, I'll type in today's date. And the second thing we need is the buyer's information, or the buyer's name. So 2 things in category field: expected sale date and the buyer's name. In notes field, we will need description of the assets that you're selling. If it's 1 asset, you can type in there 1 or 2 assets. If more than 2 assets or multiple asset sale, what you can do is, an easier way is to have the asset descriptions on a Word document or Excel page where you can copy and paste into the assets field. So make it easier for you. Rather than typing all the asset descriptions, you can scroll up and down to make sure all the assets are in there. The next step is to sign at the bottom, typing in your name. And after that, you can click on confirm. So now you can see the exchange agreement is listed as an approved SEAs under approved SEA, and you can always go back, click on it to view, and you can print a copy by clicking right-clicking on your mouse and printing. Also, the exchange agreement is saved in the system. Even after your exchange is completed, you can still log into your account and print a copy if needed. So this was the exchange agreement. Pretty simple, easy. You just needed the expected property transfer date, the buyer's name, and also asset descriptions to put in there. Sign it and confirm it. The next step is to enter your sale transaction details. For that, at the top right hand corner, you want to click on the home link to go back to the home page. And this time, on the left in the sell section, you want to click on create a new sale. It'll pull open a blank form to enter in all the sale transaction details. The top section is buyer's information. If it's a buyer that you have not done exchange with in the past, then you will need to enter their information, the buyer's name, company name, address, and also the contact person that you're working with over there. If it's your second exchange with the same party, then their information will be saved at the top under select purchaser. You can choose that buyer from that list, and you can hit the green tab load. Also, with auction sales, the auctioneer's information for Ritchie Brothers, Purple Wave, or NAGNet is saved in our system, so you can choose the right auctioneer for this sale and hit the green tab load, and it'll populate section number 1 for you. Moving on to section number 2 is the sale agreement date or the contract date with the buyer. If needed, you can change that. And the expected property transfer date, whether today or in future, or the auction date, you can change that one as well. If it's an auction sale, you will need to choose the right auctioneer, the auction location, and also the month and year for the auction. If it's a private party or a dealer transaction, then you don't need to worry about these fields, and all you need is the contract date and expected sale date or the property transfer date. Also on the right, you can choose whether the notification, which is a legal requirement, to be delivered via email or fax. With email option, the system will automatically generate an email notification to the contact person's email address that you provided in section number 1. With fax option, you will need to print the notification and either hand deliver or send a fax to the buyer on your end. In this case, we will choose email. Also, you can choose whether the buyer is paying with a check. So check instructions are sent to the buyer on the notification, or whether it'll be via wire. In that case, wire instructions will be sent out on the notification. Scrolling down to section number 3, this will be asset details. So the first field for GAC NAICS code over here, make sure you choose the right code based on the assets you're selling, whether it's light trucks or tractor units, trailers. Also under NAICS codes, let's say we're selling construction equipment. So make sure you choose the right code. Also, asset description is a limited field. It can take 1 or 2 asset descriptions, but if it's multiple asset sales, then I'll show you how you can enter that. So in this case, I will enter asset description along with serial number, complete asset description. But on the flip side, if it's a multiple asset sale, then what you need to do is use the notes field down here in section number 4 and make a reference in asset description field to see notes below. And asset descriptions on a Word document or Excel sheet can be copied and pasted into the notes field in section number 4. You can scroll up or down to make sure all the assets are pasted in there. Ownership, in this case 100%. Price in US dollars, again, if you know the exact dollar amount that Accruit will receive after any fees or commissions, you can drop that in there. Or if you don't know, you can check the box to be determined, and that can be entered later once the sale is confirmed and approved. The bottom field, sales tax, non-LKE proceeds, you don't need to worry about these unless we know of the specific situation that we can discuss in the initial consultation. So once you enter the price in US dollars, whether you know or to be determined, and also drop in asset descriptions or any specific notes related to the transaction to be delivered on the notification. Also, there's an optional internal notes field over here to keep a track of your transaction. Again, it's not required, but you can always use internal notes. All the fields are in, so at this point you can click on Review Transaction at the bottom. It'll create an easy to read format for you with all the purchaser's information, the sale dates, asset description, and also any notes. So if it all looks good, you can click on Submit Transaction at the bottom, or if anything is missing, you can either revise transaction or save it for later to come back and update those fields, and then you can submit transaction. Now once you click on Submit, it'll create an assignment agreement page for you to sign at the bottom. So all you need is your name, first and last name in the signed field. Buyer's field is not required, so you can leave it blank and click on Submit Transaction again. Once you click on Submit, an email notification is generated to the contact person with wiring instructions and asset details, and also a copy is emailed to you for your records. At this point, we are all set with 1031 exchange paperwork on the sale, and the next step will be for Accruit to receive funds. If you feel anything that you get stuck with or any issues, you can always reach out to customer services at Accruit.